I'm really getting the food forest underway. We're taking the lawn, killing the grass, and we're replacing it with things that feed myself, feed pollinators. I want to talk through some of the design elements and what my thought process was as I was looking at the sun, looking at the shade and other things, trying to figure out where the best place was to put plants and what kind of plants to put there. I have the house behind me, the road straight across the street, straight across from the house, and this direction is about south. South is more accurately more this direction, Tons of sun coming from this direction in the morning. Sun's up high here. It starts to get shaded out. Parts of the yard start to get shaded out by this tree line up here, and it sets over here in the afternoon. Another thing to consider is I have a pipe here, a sewer pipe that runs out through this little rock garden thing out to the street. So I didn't really want plants there. I didn't want plants to bury their roots into the pipe. So here's the general design I've kind of worked out. I'll walk you through it, so I'm gonna walk through my process. I thought it made a lot of sense to have a path running straight up to that pipe. If a digger needs to come out, it's gonna tear up the path more than it's gonna tear up any trees or shrubs. This rock garden seemed pretty and frankly just seemed like way too much effort to move, so I am gonna keep it here. It's also protecting another pipe above ground. So the first thing I decided to put into the element was this path, and the path would come to the rock garden and walk around the rock garden. I had a pretty good idea already of what plants I wanted based off of what I knew I would use a lot. The main thing I really want are berries. We make a ton of smoothies. We make smoothies every single morning in our family, for the family of 3. So we need about 200 pounds of berries to get us through the year. So I wanted blueberry-like berries and strawberry-like berries. My son loves goji berries. They're a superfood. So I wanted some goji berries. I wanted some fresh eating fruits as well. And I didn't want things that were too tall, because you plant one really tall tree and it shades out the whole yard. So I wanted some more bush type stuff. So here I have some Czech 17 Haskap's. These are like a Japanese blueberry. They're an early producer, a long producer. Each plant's gonna make 10 to 15 pounds of fruit. So I need 20 of them total in my property to make all of the fruit, all the berries I need for the year. These are some goji berries. These are some Phoenix Tears goji berries. And what I did here is I planted them out in a row. We have the Haskap's on this side, the goji berries over here, but they're staggered. I felt like staggering let me plant them a little closer than I would otherwise. Plus also it allows me to step in the middle to harvest from the goji berries. Additionally, this staggering lets some sun in. If the sun's coming this direction, these will start to fill out, but there'll still be space in the middle for the sun to hit the goji berries. I thought about just mixing them up randomly, but I really wanted to allow the sun to do its work, and I really wanted to take full advantage of that. So I have the shorter plants here, the Haskap's. I had the shorter plants planted here because, south is more this direction, so the sun's coming this way most of the time. And so the shorter plants will be able to take up the sun without shading out the goji berries. And then the goji berries will be another foot or two taller than the Haskap's. And then I'll probably have another row here. I have some delicious bush cherries that are even bigger than the Haskap's. So it'll be this gradation of height facing the direction where the sun is most often. Even in the late afternoon and evening, the sun's coming more this way. I think with the staggering, there'll be plenty of light for the Haskap's and the goji berries. I don't think the bush cherries would shade them out entirely. Probably going to do a similar set over here on this side of the path. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that because again the sun's coming this way. So I may have some taller elements. I may do goji berry and then Haskap here this way. So more of a gradation going down. I'm not sure where I'll put the bush cherries, if I'll have them on this side. Obviously this gorgeous tree is going to have to come down. We're going to replace it with things that are more meaningful for myself and my family. And then this is where I'm doing a lot of my plant propagation work. I'm probably going to expand that this way to have some permaculture, beds here, doing some more plant propagation and nursery work. When I planted these, I simply dug a hole I put some compost in the hole, put the plant in the hole, and filled it up with compost. So there's lots and lots of great organic matter here for it to start feeding on right away. And then I mulched around it. I'm gonna come through and mulch this whole place eventually just to kill off the grass. And of course I'm gonna mulch the path here really heavily as well. One of the last elements I'm going to put in is probably next year I'm going to put in a bunch of plugs of strawberries. So there'll be 4 main elements right now. There'll be the shrub layer of the goji berries and the haskap's. There'll be a ground cover layer of strawberries, and there'll be more of the smaller tree layer of the bush cherries. I may probably also plug in some figs in this space as well, another height-based thing. And then I want to find some nitrogen fixing elements. I'll probably do some gummy berries as nitrogen fixing to feed these plants and these trees.